Jorma Vuoksenmaa, there are still a few rounds left of the English Championship. Is there any value left?
Absolutely. The motivation teams should do very well this season when we are playing to empty stands.
By the motivation teams, what do you mean?
I mean teams which are fighting against the relegation or which are trying to get to the Premier League playoffs.
Obviously, so you mean that the teams that actually have something to play for
Yes.
are performing better and even betting-wise are better teams?
Absolutely. At least, of course, they are performing better. Now, the betting market has started to react to the motivational levels, and we might even go too far. You know, I remember those lovely days of 1980s when the Swedish professional sports bettors could afford to hire a plane, fly to London, hire a car, bet blindly all the motivational teams, and just then drive with limousines and watch the games. Those days are over. Betting market used to react more and more on the last few years to the motivation, and actually they got a bit over the top already for a while, but now then we are playing for empty stands. The prices might be good for the motivational teams.
So where's your limousine driving this year? Which teams, let's start from the top of the table, which of the promotion teams are better than and like more tempting than others?
I have reasons to believe that Brentford will be a good bet, even if people obviously start taking into consideration their motivation, but because they might be even more motivated and more better and more professional. To start with, they are a very good team. I fancied them to be better than West Bromwich already before the season started. They have been, according to the metrics, but we are still on the third spot. Now, West Bromwich should probably keep themselves on the second automatical promotional place because they had 3 points more, and Brentford should end up playing the playoffs. But they should be big favorites on the playoffs because they have a long-term good strategy behind the team with all those clever men behind the team. And secondly, their opponent in the playoffs will be either Nottingham, Cardiff, Swansea or Preston, and all of them are by far worse teams according to ESBC power ratings and according to the metrics we have seen this season. So there is bigger gap of class between Brentford and whoever is their opponent compared to the normal promotional playoff. The same applies with a lesser degree even with Fulham, who might be a good value bet favorite against their playoff opponent.
Well, how about in the bottom of the table, who try to avoid the relegation? Are there teams that you like more than the others?
Well, I would prefer words I like bit less, or I hate bit less than the opponents. You know, Luton and Charlton are really bad, even if you look at them according to the metrics and our pre-season power ratings, how they have worked. I must moan and complain a bit because in August I was in London watching live Brentford away at Charlton, the Valley. And I made a huge bet on Brentford, and I thought that's a good value bet. I got over 3 times money, 2-1. And I wouldn't sit and moan here if I didn't lose the bet. And now it looks comical to see Brentford to go to Premier Division and Charlton to go to Division 1. So I absolutely, I don't probably bet Charlton even if they have motivation, because I think they are not, they are a worse team what they have shown, and the same applies with Luton. Barnsley has been unlucky, but we do this video Monday the 13th of June, and we might be mathematically eliminated already next weekend. So I don't know how far they have motivation, but Barnsley might be worth betting. Same applies with Hull City, which should not be in relegation battle. We have been unlucky, they are a better team. We are something which could be a okay value bet with motivation.
So the rule of the motivation team sounds very logical. Are there any exceptions this year? Like, let's say, teams that don't really have anything to play for but really should try harder than others, or teams that might, let's say, they have clinched their promotion already and then they just, don't care anymore.
You found something very important, especially Leeds, which I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of Bielsa, but then they clinch to win the league. I lay them, bet against them, because we have research which shows how dramatically even good teams get weaker. Then we have celebrated and we have clinched something. So against Leeds, when they were clinched, then two teams where I'm speculating, they are kind of hidden motivation teams, but I think I have good reasons to believe they are okay bets, namely Stoke and Middlesbrough. Both are quality teams. I laugh on myself, but I actually had Stoke City as a second or third favorite before the season started. Okay, for sure I was wrong, but they are not that bad. They have shown they have actually been pretty unlucky, and their metrics are okay. They should be proud and try to get good base for the next season. And they changed manager already pre-COVID. I think it was in November, but they have improved slightly and they should keep showing. Even a stronger case might be Middlesbrough, which, to be mathematically sure, I think they need a point now next weekend. But even if they have saved themselves, I could keep betting them, because the new manager Neil Warnock, he is a no-nonsense man, an old-fashioned coach who doesn't allow his players to idle on even motivationless games, and the players are playing for contracts and to impress Warnock, and Middlesbrough might be a very good bet on the last few games, even if they don't have obvious motivation.
Thank you, Jorma. We'll look forward to the last rounds.
Yeah, exciting ones. Good luck all. Thanks.